So today we're going to look at some warm-up exercises for your hips and your hip mobility. Really important in your swing so you can get rotation. I have a lot of my clients who ask me about loosening up their hips before they play. So I'll give you 3 exercises to help. So the first exercise we've got some 90-90s. So if you come down onto the floor and just make sure that this heel is lining up with this knee and there's a bit of a gap between. And then what we're going to do is push both knees down into the floor. If you want just to stretch out the glute first, you can just lean over very, very slightly and hold it there. And then we're going to just sit back here and we're just going to open and then close. So just internally and externally rotate through the hip here. And then once we've done about 8 to 10 of those, we can go from side to side with both hips. If you want to make it a bit harder, we can take the hands off and go there. Once you've done about 8 to 10 of those, you then finish up on this side. You do the opening and closing of this leg, and then if you want to, you can stretch out that glute as well. So if you give that a try, that's a really good one just to help those hips. So the next exercise we've got some half kneeling step outs. So if you come down onto the floor, go into a half kneeling position. Try and keep your shoulders pointing forward throughout the whole of this exercise. So you can either have your hands here or here, it doesn't really matter, just try and keep your upper body forward. And we're going to move your leg across the midline, and then we're going to move out to the side. So we're getting the internal and external rotation of the hip. So we're going to go across the midline and then out to the side there. And really try and keep your body pointing forwards, okay? I tend to do 10 of these on one side and then 10 of these on the other side. Don't worry if you can't get it as far across as me, but just keep trying to get a little bit across the midline, and that will really help with your hips. And the last exercise, so you can do this with a club, and I tend to turn the club upside down. Tuck the back of the foot behind the knee, so these are called stalks, and then we're just going to be rotating the knee across here. So the club's just for balance really. So if you want to make it a little bit harder, you can take the club away. I'm going to test my balance now. And then do it without, okay? And I would do 25 seconds to 30 seconds on one leg and then switch legs. So that was the hip mobility section of the warm-up. I hope it helps you with your hips, and check out my other videos on the warm-up section.